Ulysses, no one else can do the things you do. That's just for Tony, man. If Tony's watching, man, because I was buzzing with him singing that. Right, we're live from lockdown. It could go very wrong tonight because basically, if you don't know, Virgin nationwide are having an outage, and I've already been kicked off twice today. One of my guests also with Virgin. So this is going to be the protocol. We're going to try and get through it. If it cuts us off once, rather than me scrambling around to get everyone back on, we're going to reschedule for either Wednesday or Thursday. If it doesn't cut out, we'll just carry on as normal. But my main concern is it might cut all you guys out who come and watch as well. So that's the protocol. Should Virgin kick us off, we will just reschedule for another night and we'll chalk this one as a fucking bad day. But I hope you're all well. I can see everyone's in the comments already. I'm not going to say hello to everyone individually except for Raz. Raz can fuck off. The rest of you, hello, welcome. And rather than listening to me talk, I'm going to get straight into my guest while we've currently got an internet connection. I am going to have a beer in a minute. It's the fucking horrible ones I'm on, so I'm going to be drinking them slow. Unlike David Retro Games Badly, who I think is still fucking hungover from Saturday's stream. So, first of all, my first guest, say hello.
Ulysses. Hi. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to sing a song or what. How this work?
I think that's going to become the new YouTube anthem, that, to be fair.
All videos start. My name is Monkeyspaz5000 or James or Jim, for those of you who may or may not know me. And I used to make YouTube videos and I no longer sell stuff.
Is that 100% true? Is that 100% true, or am I going to need to edit this video in a couple of weeks'
time? I've not sold anything for at least 28 days.
What, is the postal service out up your way or what?
Yeah, that's it. Just due to the pandemic.
So, James, obviously, we've only met once before, and we've got a very limited relationship, but hopefully we're forming one. And
yes,
say the same about my second guest. I know we share some opinions, and we both like beer, we both like games, so I'm sure there's plenty of other things going comments. We got Game Zone Birdroom in the house. James, if you've not seen Game Zone Birdroom's channel, he's
I've heard of him, you know that.
His theme is brilliant. You need to sub to Game Zone Birdroom. While you're looking that up, I'm going to bring in my second guest to introduce himself. Say hello.
Hello, coming at you from 240p. The P stands for Pedo Beard. It's Scott from Scott's Game Asylum.
How's it going, Scott? Now, Scott even knows me even longer because, like, literally, I had to get help to get my second guest tonight because I was flapping a bit. I have to find Gashead for sorting this out. Again, me and Scott, this is as much as we've been talking the last half hour. I know very little about him. He probably, unless he's watched all my streams, and then you know all about my life because I have been giving information away every night. You lot know more about me than I remember, to be honest, the ones watching. But thank you both for being on. And first question, what we'll do is what I say is like, so we don't talk over each other. First question will go to Monkeyspaz, and then we'll go around to you, Scott, and we'll rotate that way. So,
all right.
Obviously, chirping if like there's that opportunity to say something sarcastic, do not hold it in. Fucking like, well, is that a crotch shot? What the fuck?
Oh, sorry.
I never knew this kind of stream.
That's the after party that we're normally in with Addy Sneak.
Dick out later.
So lockdown, how has it been treating you? What's it changed? James first.
It's all right. It's testing. I've got two kids, and obviously, one secondary school, one primary school. So I am their teacher stroke referee. They're just fighting and bickering all the time and try to teach them maths and stuff that they're already supposed to know and try to make sure that they do their schoolwork. But apart from that, it's not too bad not working at the moment. As you know, I live in the middle of nowhere, so I'm sort of flaunting the rules a bit. If I want to go for a walk 3 times a day, I'll go for a walk 3 times a day. So
I don't blame you, to be fair. What was I going to say? I saw a post on Facebook the other day, you know, like the Ofsted signs that you get on the schools, like when they do the ratings. Someone's obviously been doing homeschooling, and you just writ Ofsted, piss poor. To be honest, there's a running theme with anyone who's on this stream who has children. They'll go, lockdown's great, but I have 2 kids.
I'm enjoying it, but
I have 2 kids. I imagine if there's somewhere in the other universe where the kids are all doing a stream somewhere, I'd be having a great time, but fucking mum and dad are at home all the while.
I know. Mum and dad are in the house all day. God damn it.
How about you then, Scott? You've brightened up. Have you just turned a light on?
Oh, I've opened the fucking curtains and shit.
Oh,
This fucking webcam is terrible. Anyway, what were we talking about? I fucking lost track of
Lockdown. How's lockdown treating you? Oh, I can see you're going to be fucking problems. I should have known.
Yeah, I'm going to be. Well, I'm out of work at the moment. I'm currently on what they fucking call it, the old 80%. And yeah, basically, I've just been filling my time up with as many distractions as possible. You know, writing a script for a new video and all that shit. You know, it's just trying to keep your brain going because I get bored very easily. So if I don't do anything, I'll probably just drive myself fucking mad with boredom.
I think that's the main thing, man. I try to keep focused. Obviously, these streams help me. Also, what I've noticed in the background, you know that cute acoustic foam you've got?
Yeah.
If anyone in this stream wants any of that, because I fucking bought some for $5 from the car boot sale, I've got a shed full and I don't want it anymore. So anyone who wants acoustic foam, let me know. You can fucking have some. I had this vision of that I could, because I buy and sell at the events, and I thought, you know what, I'll get that, line it up on my table, all the loose cartridges will fit in it. Fucking none of them. Other than Game Boy, man. But the thing is when I went to buy off the guy, I only wanted to buy like 4 squares. And I said, how much for them? He went, £5. I was thinking, fuck me, that's steep each. And he went, no, the box. And I was like, at the time, I thought, oh yeah, let's have the fucking box full. Now I'll try and get in my shed. There's a box full of fucking acoustic foam that I'm not even using.
Be there forever.
So anyone who wants that, they can have some. So thanks for reminding me of that, Scott. So you two have obviously been around the tubes a lot longer than me. You've probably both been around a lot longer than me without being rude. James probably not. Look, man, it's my stream. I can insult who I want. I've got my audience. So what we like to talk about, you know, we've got very few set themes, but one of them is your gaming history. So how you got into games? What was your gaming journey? Not so much your collecting journey. We'll have that as a separate thing. So, like, you know, just your nostalgia of until like fucking you got to wherever you are before you started collecting. So if you want to go first, James.
I started probably as early as I can remember, maybe 5, 6. I remember one Christmas morning coming down, there was a massive box in the living room. I was like, what's this? And I opened up the box and there was like a portable telly in it. And I was like, sweet. And then Mum said, keep going. There's more and more and more in there. And there was an Atari 2600. So I was maybe probably before you were born, but maybe 1984, 85.
Oh, no, I was born. I was born 83.
Oh.
Yeah, 83.
Oh, you know,
but thank you. Like I'm glad you thought I wasn't. Always good to flatter the host.
That's
Stu
a plan.
Just picking his empty bottle of fucking Buddy, giving fuck me. What they said that to him for?
So 2600, and like I think like a lot of parents in the 80s, or my mum was a single parent. Like you sort of had one machine, you had set games for years and years and years. So I had 2600. Then after that, I moved town when I was about 9. I discovered Spectrum. Got one of them, heavily into that. Game Boy as well. I used to call the Game Boy the Tetris machine, just because I literally only had Tetris for one whole year. I remember going down the street to borrow Turtles from a friend. So I only ever had Tetris to play. It was doing my head in. So I had Spectrum. I probably had Spectrum a lot longer into sort of Mega Drive SNES times. Then I had the Mega Drive SNES. On the back of that, sort of got into Atari ST, Amiga, PlayStation 1, obviously, and then anything and everything. I've had Atari Lynx. Do you know what I mean? Pretty much anything and everything. But probably Spectrum is where my heart lies, as many know. But
yeah, we'll get talking about the Spectrum because the people in the comments, they've not had any 8-bit juicy stuff for a while. We did have one with Ant Harper and Craig Turner, who runs Revival Events, so that was very much an 8-bit one. And then we had Mr. Bads and Nova Bug on together. So it's been a while since we've had some 8-bit, so we'll get deep into that. So Scott, what's your gaming journey for us? And Raz says you're a very good hugger, not quite as good as Gashead Steve.
Well, of course he would, wouldn't he? He always goes against Gashead. Fucking bastard. Love you,
By the
Raz.
way, Raz is the only person I don't give a fuck if you offend because I offend him.
Is this like a Swedish thing, or is it just a?
No, it's because he's an annoying little bastard when I met him at Berry. And he used to rip the piss out of me when I was in anyone else's stream or in comments. And so now I've got my own stream. It's fucking free for all on Raz.
Fair game.
Yeah. It's not even sport anymore.
I think my gaming journey started with the Sega Master System, not the Master System.
Oh, you have watched some of my streams then.
And yeah, it was. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't really into it as hardcore at the time. Then I got a Mega Drive like a couple years later and played a lot of Sonic 2. And but what really solidified my love for gaming and what became my passion for it was when I got a PlayStation. And it was the trifecta of games that came out that sort of shaped my passion for it. It was Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy VII, and Resident Evil 2. And then since then, it's just been a big part of my life. And and went from PlayStation, Dreamcast, and so on. And it was pretty much it, really.
How old are you, Scott? When you're asking, or when?
36.
How old were you when you got the PlayStation then?
I got my PlayStation, I think, in 1997, but I had a friend of mine who lived next door who had one from like 94 when they first came out. So yeah, I played it for a fair few years.
Yeah.
I just want to know, because this guy's come a little bit out of his YouTube retirement and is active in the comments now. Do you guys remember Mr. X-Files? Because he got talked about a lot on this stream. He used to be around on YouTube back in the day. Guy called Marcus. I want to say hello anyway because I want him to be a guest. But now he used to be around a long time ago. Probably, I mean, how long have you guys been doing YouTube? You've been doing longer than me. I'm fucking novice.
Fuck me. I've been doing it. Well, this would be my third channel. So
hold on, we've got a channel changer. I'm interested now. How many channels you had?
The very, very first channel I had, I made it when it was like 2006, 7. That didn't do anything. It was like a couple of like uploads when I used to play World of Warcraft. The second channel, oh god, it's so embarrassing. Fucking Brown Sheep Gaming. Jeez.
Please tell us the reason for the name.
That only lasted for like a fucking year, and then I made a new channel for some reason, and that's my current channel I'm on now. Yeah, so I've been on YouTube for like 10 years.
10 years. I think I'm scrolling back through all my videos actually. 5 years, I think.
Oh, so I've only been on 4 years. So I thought you'd been around a lot longer than me, Monkey Spaz.
I think 5, 6 years at a push, maybe.
Yeah, well, anyway, X-Files is like one of the OGs from back in the day, apparently. So it's good to have him back in the comments anyway, because I know a lot of people spoke highly of him. So while we're talking about YouTube, just tell us your YouTube journey then, James. Like, who did you used to watch? What made you want to get into YouTube and the idea of the channel?
I remember like the previous house I lived, I sort of built a PC and I was just sitting one night and I somehow came across Lawn Boy's post, whatever the numbers after is, 1975.
Mm-hmm.
And also, oh, you might know who I'm on about. A guy called, or you might Scott, a guy in America, I think his name's Mike, something like that, skinny guy, glasses. Can't remember his YouTube channel name for anything.
But you've been around 7 years anyway. You
oh well,
not Mike. Mike Tendo. What was it?
I don't care. But yeah. I started watching that, and then I started like, you know, you watch YouTube, and then you get the recommendation sort of thing down the side, and I click on somebody else's video, and click on somebody else's video, and by the time you knew it, you're sucked into a massive YouTube wormhole, and it's 4 o'clock in the morning. So I started doing that, and so piqued my interest again, and then I started messaging Lawn Boy's post Dave quite a bit, and we got chatting. And at the time I didn't know anything about making videos or anything like that, so he gave me a bit of advice and told me how he'd done it. And then I just started buying. I had a little bit of a collection anyway, but I started buying some bits and bobs. Then I thought, I'm going to give this a shot. I think it was just on the back of talking to Dave, Long Boys Post. I thought I'll give this a shot. And that's basically where it started. And according to Raz, 7 years later, and I'm a tosser, apparently, Raz. Cheers.
Don't take no notice of Raz. We can kick him. That's nice.
But that's it. I think it was just talking to Long Boys Post is what initially started the whole thing off, to be fair.
So when you started your channel, did you have, do you have any idea what you wanted from your channel, or was it just fucking, going out there blind and fucking wondering and...
Yeah, totally. No game plan or aspirations or anything like that. Just thought, right, gotta do this for fun and see what happens. And so I probably at the time started just mimicking other people that I was watching, like Long Boys Post, for example. Then obviously you start to get a little bit of traction, a little bit of interaction in the comments and whatnot, and you think, oh, this is quite nice, turn it a quite nice wee hobby, and then you just sort of keep going until 6 years later and you get a wee bit bored and you didn't make videos for a while. But
a while. I mean, I've had breaks, but you have severe breaks, don't you? I've seen one like fucking Lost posters at events. Has anyone seen Monkeyspaz?
The thing is, what I like in it too, imagine, you've got friends that might be like the best friends in the world, but you don't necessarily speak to your friends all the time. And then the longer you don't speak to your friends, the easier it is to go without speaking to your friends. That's what I like, and that's what happens with YouTube a wee bit, I think. The longer you don't do it, the easier it is not to do it.
Yeah, I'll agree there. As I was saying to you guys backstage, like, I've had a couple of breaks. Everyone knows the reason I have my breaks. The hardest thing is to do that first video after having a break.
Yeah.
That motivation to fucking set up the camera, do the upload, do the editing. But I think once you've done that first one, like, I'm hoping, because James, I know you've uploaded a video we'll talk about in a sec. But I'm hoping, because if that was an easy process, you think, I want to talk about this, I want to do that. Because at the moment, what I've found from doing these streams, and I'm not blowing smoke up my own arse, there's people who haven't made videos for ages who feel like they want to make videos. There's people who haven't even ever made videos who are making videos just to be part of the community and have the interaction. And I think that's a high point for us at the moment as a community, which is a massive positive. And if I can help that, even like 1%, I'm fucking absolutely buzzing about that.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but the UK gaming YouTube scene, or fucking small corner, what we are, seems to be quite positive in dark times, which is a good thing, because I think we all want to go on the piss after once this is all over. We want a big meetup. Yeah, definitely. We'll get Daz on it. But Scott, just tell us your YouTube journey. Then obviously you covered it briefly, but who were you watching? What started your interaction? We've got 2 hours to fill, so don't worry if it's long.
What got me into YouTube? Well, as my first channel was like World of Warcraft based, my first like person I watched a lot was Wow Hobbs, who was this guy who would do a lot of like dungeon running solo and all this sort of stuff, and it was just really interesting, and I sort of emulated that sort of thing. But what really like got me into doing my own sort of thing was like the Channel Warsome like flood of Spoonie and the Nostalgia Critic and Cold the Fourth Wall and all that sort of stuff. A lot of Spoonie. I used to watch him constantly, and that's what made me go, oh, actually I could make a character for myself and do some goofy shit. And and that's where I really started from. And then that was sort of layered on top of other channels like Total Biscuit. I used to watch TB's videos all the time because he was such a great, he could just think about stuff on the fly. He never had a script. He'd make a 45-minute video and there wouldn't be a single stumble. And it's like, man, that's a really cool talent. I can do that shit, but he definitely influenced what I do on here. And it's just like a load of like that style of content, really, very edited, scripted, funny, goofy, in-depth stuff, really, if that makes any sense.
No, that's perfect cool. It always amazes me whenever World of Warcraft's mentioned, because 2TUK always pops up. He's the one guy I would never put down as a World of Warcraft player. I think it's because I think he's a football hooligan in a previous life.
I played that for 5 years fucking straight.
Oh, Stu, that is the only thing I know about fucking World of Warcraft. And Stu's quoted there, Leroy Jenkins. I fucking when I play any game like a first person shooter or something, I fucking always shout that and just rush in head first. It's fucking iconic. The guy became famous, obviously. Yeah, I never put Stu down as a World of Warcraft player. Sell it to me, Scott, because I've never played World of Warcraft, and I'm very naive. So sell it.
Don't ask me to sell it now because personally,
but haven't they remastered it? Do you know about the remasterings that they've just done or something? Because this,
they've got the classic server, and they've got the remaster of Warcraft 3, which is a RTS game, which isn't really an MMO. What could I say? If you want to indulge yourself in autism for months on end, play World of Warcraft.
That's it. Is that the sales pitch?
Yeah, there you go.
I always get this impression of with World of Warcraft. If you see some fucking person with like one, I don't know, like some medieval elfish style fucking woman with massive tits, 100% 50-year-old bloke. 100%.
Not really. No, it's pretty much. I ran a guild for like 3 years, and you had pretty much everyone from all walks of life playing that game. It could be the quintessential neck bearded cunt like myself, or you could have some boring white business guy from the street playing World of Warcraft between fucking meetings and shit. It was this wide spectrum of players, and it was pretty cool actually. I met a lot of really close friends from it, so yeah, that was a fun experience. And I've gone back to the game every now and then, but I can no way play it like I used to, because I played that game. There was like a second job at one point. Well, running a guild, it fucking was. Yeah, it was a fun experience, but I would never want to go back to it.
Yeah. I think Tootie's on bordering having a nerdgasm here, but he reckons you were Horde, weren't you, Scott? If that means something to you, I imagine World of Warcraft is 100% a game you've got to put hours into. You can't just. You're either all in or you're not bothered. You're either all in or not.
One of those games, if it's about what you want to get out of it. It's a lot like playing games like The Division or Destiny or anything like that. If you just want to play it casually, you can. But if you want to go for the high-end stuff and collect everything, yeah, you're going to dedicate a lot of time to it. And to answer Tootie's question, for the Alliance.
So, Stu, you've either upset Stu there or like your brothers in arms for life.
Was it subscription based, Scott? Did you have to, or did you just buy the game, or was it like monthly?
Yeah, it's subscription. I must have spent fucking thousands on that fucking game.
Yeah. So what you used to have, was it like a yearly subscription, or was it like what? Because I know there was like add-on packs and stuff and everything.
Yeah. You have to buy those separately too. I used to buy my subscriptions like 6 monthly. It just works out cheaper, and I'm lazy, so I just buy it the 6 month sub. But now I wouldn't bother. I went back to it about 4 or 5 months ago just to see what the new content was all about. But that was only like a 30-day sub, so then I can just play it, have fun with it, and then not go back to it. I'm not as involved as I used to be with that game anymore.
I told you Stu would either be happy or sad. He was ally too, so you like brothers in arms. He wants to know what server you're on. I'm not Cilla Black here. This is not fucking Blind Date. James isn't our Graham with his quick reminder or whatever.
I play on Alonzus.
There you go. Stu was on whatever that fucking says. Nordrillis. Right, we're going to move on.
Of course he fucking does.
We're going to move on from Stu because fucking he'll be spilling all his buds everywhere. so James, we'll talk a little bit about the Spectrum then, and because the last time I remember you doing regular content, you were collecting for the Spectrum and buying tapes. Yeah. Is that still a thing that's happening, or have you flogged them all?
No, hold on. No. I'm trying to point at the camera. All them there. That's the majority of that's all Spectrum stuff, basically.
Right. Because I bet you're not even aware because you've been away from YouTube a bit. Everyone's obsessed with getting a full set of hit squads.
I noticed. I went away for. Second.
Everyone's fucking. Even I've not even got fucking. I've got the fucking loader, the card that loads them from SD. Even I feel I need to get some fucking hit squads.
Yeah, it's. I've seen. Who is it? Is it Jay? He's Commodore 64, but Hit Squad. I've seen it. I've seen it because I was like, oh, I'm going to collect Hit Squad games. Nobody's really going to be interested in this. And then I have a look back, and it's like, whoa, everybody wants Hit Squad stuff all of a sudden. It's like, what? No, but I am still collecting them. Obviously, I've not made any videos, so I've not said what I haven't got. But there's an absolute crap loads of Hit Squad games. But I've got a few of the really, really expensive ones already. But try to get them all. Some of them are quite hard to find.
Well, what I can say is there's a few of them who only need a few left. So, like, you could probably name your price and get yourself like a new car or something because they're all. But I know Bearded Manchild and someone else is doing Amstrad. Jay Cybersnake7's doing the Commodore, but I think it's David Retro Games Played Badly is doing.
Is he getting Spectrum stuff? Bog off.
The trouble is, right? Imagine he was on my stream till what time? Pissed out his head on Saturday. Guarantee he's just gone on eBay on his way to bed and bought like fucking some big hitters on the old hit squads on the way to bed because he's fucking absolutely hammered.
I've just found his channel. I'm gonna have to like. No, you see, that's the thing, right? You find one that you really want that's rare and expensive, and it just needs me, and then some other guy like David Retro Games Played Badly to want it, and then it just makes me paying more money.
They're all at it though, and I'll tell you what else is the other thing. The fucking idiots doing the PlayStation 1 double cases. It's almost become like sport getting them now. They're all buying the double cases.
I've noticed that as well, actually. It's bizarre.
I've got a few of them, man. I might just chuck them on eBay while the prices are high, and I'll get them back when CX open back up, and I'll buy a $5 each or something.
Yeah.
Mr. Bad,
so out of touch with collecting.
Mr. Bad is a fucking collector who you don't want to go toe to toe with buying fucking games.
Who is?
Mr. Bad's Games.
Right.
Paul. He will just drop dollars on games without a blink of an eye. I've never
He's not buying Spectrum stuff, is he?
Yeah, he's Spectrum.
Oh,
Ocean stuff. He's nearly got every Ocean game.
See, I don't like if I see something on eBay and I really want it, I don't like losing. So I'll just keep going, and I'll just keep going, and I'll keep going, and then I'll look upset, and my wife will be like, "What's going on?" I just spent too much money on a little original $2.99 cassette.
They're all going on about this. There's a guy called Eddie called Rollercore. I don't know if you're familiar with his channel. He's quite new last year. Nice guy, great content. He's the one who sorts the subsets. But I had someone on the other day, and I said they were the original ones. You know, rather than going for a full set, like someone will go for a complete platinum set and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think who I had on the other day. Someone remind me in the comments who I said he started it off, and now everyone's like caught onto it. I just buy shit I find. If I'm honest, I'm lazy. If it's at the boot sale, I'll pick it up.
I'm gonna have to I'll just sell all my Hit Squad and make money out of these people.
Yeah, definitely. Especially David Retro Games Played Badly or Paul. They're like toe to toe at the moment to get the complete sets. In fact, I said it was Paul, Mr. Bads, because he was the guy going for like the complete Ocean set and stuff like that.
Has he got a YouTube channel?
Yes, Mr. Bads.
Mr. Bads
_ games or gaming. I hate it when people put fucking games or gaming or gamer in the channel because I'll get them all fucking mixed up. People give me shit.
I'll grab my coat then, shall I?
Yeah, but at least you've got a word after it. So, like, you know, I couldn't say Scott's. Okay, I could probably say Scott's Gamer Asylum, but Games Asylum sounds right.
Yeah.
But when they have it at the end, it could be any one of that three fucking combination. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
While we're talking about channel names, let's discuss why Monkeyspaz and why Scott's Games Asylum. So, James, if you want to go first. What's the 5,000 for? Didn't you know we were all getting rid of numbers on the end of our name?
Oh, was that a thing? Sorry.
I got bullied out of it, fucking 22k. But I used to be Danester83 and fucking just bullied out of my numbers. So I got fucking rid of them because everyone just purposely kept writing the wrong numbers in the comments.
Yeah. Mine's came from when I was at uni. I was like 19, and it was at the point in time where Yahoo Chat was a massive thing, and you'd go on and ASL and talk to girls all over the world and all that nonsense. And for some reason, I don't know why at the time, but I came up with the name Monkey Nuts, and I was 19. So I was like, Monkey Nuts 19. And then years later, when I got an Xbox 360, I was like, username Monkey Nuts 19. Not available. I was like, what? And then so I was like, Monkey Nuts 5000. I was like, what? And then and randomly, honestly, nothing no exciting story behind it, but the next thing that popped into my head was Monkey Spaz. It's a bit of a, do you know what I mean? I've thought of changing it because of the last part of the name, but
Nah, fuck it, man. I like it.
it is what it is. But people just shout Spaz. It's like, no.
Yeah, but if you're in this event, there could be at least another fucking 20 people who that fucking applied to turn around.
Yeah, just everybody turns around.
Or it's like when I first got introduced to you and someone told me your channel name was like Monkey Spank. Who the fuck would call themselves Monkey Spank? Like, no, Spaz. Like, oh, well, okay. That makes more sense.
Same Guru Larry, he was speaking to Ashens once on a podcast or his channel, and he says, "Oh, I bought something off Monkeyspaz," and Ashens was like, "What? Monkey? What?" But it is what it is.
You can't change that. You can get rid of the numbers, but don't change the Monkeyspaz.
Yeah.
Someone's asked, "Is there still a monkey in your pants?"
Always, yeah.
That is the one thing I always remember about your channel is that intro.
If anybody can guess where that sound effect came from, and it wasn't me, I'll buy you a drink.
Isn't it from Monty Python? Is it something to do with Monty Python? No, I thought it was.
So it's a cartoon.
It's from the 80s, I'm guessing, or 90s?
90s, I think.
Okay, we'll see if anyone comes up with the answer in the comments. No Googling, you cheating bastards. So Scott, talk us through your 3 channel names, changes, etc. Why you end up where you are now.
Sadly, I didn't take my Xbox Live gamer tag because if it was, my channel would be called Satan's Pen 15. So, which
please change your channel.
And also,
that was back in the edgy days. Yeah. Well, when this channel started off as Grumpy Gaming HD, which I hated from the beginning, and then it moved on to when I was trying to play a character.
You fucking come up with it.
Yeah, I know. That's how fucking much I liked it. The next one was the Console Snob, which was like my character, which I try to do the old, spoony, angry video game nerd shtick. That didn't last long. And then Scott's Game Asylum, it was basically because I was binging a lot of Ross's Game Dungeon. And I thought, oh, that would be a fun little... The name honestly means nothing. It's just something that I thought, oh, that'd be just dumb. And since then, that's it. And I really can't be fucked to change it.
I remember one of the pictures. I think it's the one they used to use when you were on the talks. Was it at play and stuff like that? That picture terrified me.
That was back that was I did that for, I think it was the Console Snob, and Richard's like, oh yeah, you're on a panel, I need a picture for for the poster for the thing. I'm like, fuck, what do I do, and I thought, all right, I'll just give you that picture. I didn't realize how low spec that thing was, because when you see it on the posters, everyone's like, oh, nice and clean, everyone can see what they're doing. I'm like 3 pixels big. Like,
you know what?
That drove me fucking mad.
Because you guys are both part of RetroUnlim. That's something that I obviously know a lot of people who've involved with it, but I don't understand what it is. So, Monkeyspaz, if you want to talk about your involvement with RetroUnlim and how it all got about and what RetroUnlim is.
I don't know. I just said yes one day. No, that's it. No,
yeah,
I got an email from Mr. Unlim, just basically
send me the check.
saying, like, what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. Do you want to be part of this thing? And I was like, yeah, all right, I'll just do this. And that's it. Like, that. Honestly, that's about it. We used to do, is it still a thing, Scott, live streams?
Yeah, but I don't do them anymore.
I used to do live streams every week or every 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah,
with a group of us. It was good, but I think that's about my involvement in it. It was a way into like a group of people. So if you go to events, do you know what I mean? You've already got a little huddle of friends and people that you can speak to and stuff. So from that point of view, it was good. But I know people were, I thought, a little bit against it at the time when it first started. Oh, But it doesn't mean anything. I've got a little splash logo at the start of my videos, and honestly, that's about it.
I didn't do that anymore. It's like, that's how, I don't know. The site itself seems to be fine, but my involvement in it is pretty minimal now. It's like my content. I used to be quite heavily involved at one point, but it's just a part of it now. And I've met quite a few people through it, which is nice. But as a day-to-day running of the site, that's just down to one person now, I think. And
yeah, because he's Steve, isn't he? He's the channel. I see him in, because I watch Nova Bugs tape testing things, and Steve's obviously always in there. I just wondered if something has happened, because it doesn't seem to be as active or part of a thing anymore as it once was. I just wondered if that was because everyone was just doing their own thing, sort of thing. I'm not having any juicy gossip. I'm just, as an outsider looking in, I'm just wondering.
Yeah,
it's where you're all meant to just do content under this one banner, or I don't know.
No, there wasn't anything like that. There's never been a contract signed or anything like that. It was always like, oh, I like your stuff, I'm going to host it onto my website. Are you cool with that? But for me, it was, it's hard to say, because at one point, it was going to be this big thing. We was going to do this and do that. It was going to be, something of significance. And then I think it's just because there's so much, when you add more people onto a website, because I've ran a forum before RetroUnlim for YouTubers, and there's just so many egos, so many this, so many that. It just can be very crushing and especially for Steve, who runs the fucking show. He has a full-time job himself. He works a lot of hours. And so I can imagine him trying to balance his work and life and this passion would be nigh on impossible. And it's sad to see it be as not as significant as it used to be. But like most things, it's something that just keeps going, And like I said, it's still going. This website's still active, and there's still a lot of people contributing to it. So it's still alive. But I think that an initial bomb when it first came out and everyone really revolted against it, that was the only sort of drama that really stemmed from that. There was a lot of people, it was like when people unionize and they find it threatening that there's now a clique with people, and there's going to be people who know each other because they're now in a group, but there was never a us versus them mentality. Well, I never thought so anyway.
Carl's just saying I'm trying to cause some controversy. I'm not. I just genuinely want to know, because I thought RetroUnlim was a good thing, because a lot of those channels I enjoyed watching, and it's almost like I didn't know if just because some of you had gone away, if not died a death, but it had just slowed down. When I saw Raz was in there, I'm fucking out anyway. So fuck that.
I think the idea of it was really good, but I think a lot of the original people sort of just fizzled out a little bit. Me being, do you know what I mean, in terms of content creation and whatnot.
You mean you fucked off?
Especially at this level, it's like, you can pick it up at any time. I fucking only put out a video maybe once every 2 months. It's very hard to have a stable of people who will constantly create content at this low level. If it was something like, say, when retroware was a thing, that was a lot more sustainable, because there was at least 10 people there putting out high quality stuff at that time every single week. While with us, it was like quantity over quality. And I don't know if that hurt the site in the end. And I see Steve is in the chat right now. Hello. But I've said this stuff to him in private as well. That, we could have done this, we could have done that. But now it's more of a place just to put your stuff up on now, and there's still people joining the site every week. So it's still going. It's
what? I've never checked out the website. I only knew it from the logo that used to be at the front of people's videos, and literally that used to be at the front of a lot of people's videos I watched. So, but I never understood what it was, if you know what I mean. So
I think it could be bigger if there was more. No offense, I know you're there, Steve, but if there was more sort of oomph behind it. Do you know what I mean? Maybe quite a few people like behind it, really driving it, pushing it. But
I think because didn't you guys used to do the talks at the Play Blackpools, and I don't think, tell me if I'm wrong, I don't think Steve organised them now, but with the people who used to do RetroUnlim, like your Woodlands, like yourselves, you're more gamers. I'd be more interested in hearing you lot talk than some of the characters that they have doing the talks now. I'd rather listen to games. If you know what I'm saying there.
Yeah. Well, that first one was put together last minute anyway, because last month, let's be honest, because RetroUnlim has sort of moved on to doing the event stuff with play events, replay events, or what they call themselves. So that's where they've sort of moved on to now. So Steve is now doing a lot of that, and it was cool to be part of that panel. But I see what you mean, that you need the more grassroots people on there. There's a space to have a panel for the grassrooters, then there's a space to have for the people who are well known, etc.
It's not so much the grassroots. I like to talk to gamers about games. Like, I go to a lot of the revival events. Now, they don't have gamers so much talking. They have like your programmers, like your Oliver Twins, your John Romero's. Let me think of who else they've had. I can't think of anyone else off the top. Oh, yeah, Dave Perry. I'd rather listen to them. I'd rather listen to people who were involved in the gaming industry. But if I'm going to sit down and listen to someone talk about games, I want to listen to their gaming experience, like a little bit like we're doing tonight. Like, I'm interested in your gaming history, what you like playing. I don't want to know about I don't want to talk to a character. That's just me. And I'm not bothered whether it's like fucking, I don't know, someone in the chat with 100 subs or like someone with 15,000 subs. As long as they're talking about an interest, then I'm much likely to watch that.
And not see the fucking Oliver Twins for like the 60,000th fucking time.
I'm keeping all my Dizzy games unsigned because I think they'll be worth more in the future.
I hate it.
Few rare that are not signed.
Yeah. But that's all I think is I'd rather listen to actual gamers than almost someone who's up there like a caricature of themselves putting on a little bit of a show. As a gamer, I'd rather listen to a gamer, and that's no offense to whether they're doing well on YouTube or whether they're doing bad. I'd just personally like to listen to people's gaming stories, much why I'm enjoying doing this stream. So in fact, anyone who's been on this stream, if you're on a panel, I'm not fucking interested. I know everything, all right. But that's, I just thought, like, when I first came around to YouTube, I used to see a lot of channels who I used to watch had RetroUnlim at the beginning of the videos, and that's just something I see had gone away, and I was just curious because I'd never really looked into it. I see Steve a lot in Novabug's channel, and I enjoy Novabug's channel, and Steve's band's great. Heard he pulls a great point as well. But I was just curious, that's all. Just curious to... I didn't want to know ins and outs and dramas. I was just hoping maybe
it's no drama
in the gaming community to get a revival. Maybe bring in some fresh faces to RetroUnlim and get that going again. Like some proper a fresh injection of people who might be interested in doing that sort of thing. Not me though, because I like being solo. Without being offense, I'd love to be a part, but it's kind of my thing to just roll by myself. Because then if I cause controversy, I only cause controversy for myself as well.
Yeah, true. It was, well, like I said, me and James had been around for quite some time on it. And perhaps it was more of my dreams for it was more higher than it actually was. But yeah, it's still a thing and it's still going. It's just, it could have been in my head. I thought, oh yeah, maybe we could compete to the RetroWare guys or whoever, but I guess not. I guess that wasn't the thing.
I very rarely see any videos though with a little sort of RetroUnlim splash.
I think I gave up. I think I dropped the logo fucking 4 years ago, maybe.
What made me bring it up because I watched your video earlier, James, and it, without sounding cheesy or corny, it was nice to see that at the beginning of a video again.
Bringing it back.
but it was because I remember, like you say, four years ago when I started YouTube, there was a good proportion of the people I used to watch, and it always started with that little intro. And that's why I was just curious personally for my own thoughts, why it had stopped.
Yeah.
But hopefully, Steve's in the chat. I'll tell you what, Steve, there's plenty of fucking new good channels here in the comments who've been on the stream before. If you want to watch a few, sure, if you get in touch, that they might want to get involved in it, like either if they just want to be part of the website or they want to be part of it. You know, I'm sure they'd be happy to be involved. So, you know, this is another thing the stream's for a little bit of networking, some more contacts for us all to get on with each other. So the next time we go to an event, we all get pissed together is my main goal.
That's the main thing.
Pretty much. I've met a lot of people that I would never thought in a million years while being part of the site. So, you know, I've met some of the bigger fucking personalities on YouTube, and it's a fun experience. So, and been going to events for free and shit. So,
hey, I'm good at blagging them now. One good thing being a stall vendor is what you do is you go, you know what, Andy, I've spent like X amount of money buying tables at your event this year. Any chance for a band for Blackpool? That's what I do. Or I pull out the old YouTube thing. Can I get into your event early so I can look? Don't all you bastards get doing this and saying Dana fucking told you either, because I'll be involved. But it is said if you maybe message them, if you're polite and say I'm going to do some footage, and you do a decent review of the event, there's not many that tell you to fuck off. To be fair,
yeah.
There's not many that tell you to fuck off, to be honest. But we'll talk a bit about events, because obviously I've seen you at Blackpool before, Scott. Obviously, before we ever really spoke, because we've only literally spoke today. Was that last year's Blackpool? That was when I was there. I was pissed out my tree. Hey, did you pop down for a day to that Blackpool? Do I have a feeling I saw you for a day, or am I thinking of Berry?
I think I mean Berry, yeah. Because Blackpool's usually like a 4-day fucking thing for me, because it's a 7-hour trip already, and I really don't want to go out for 1 day for 14 hours worth of travel. So yeah, it must be that, because I did go Berry for like, I think it was like 3 hours, but that's not far from me. So
the events, like obviously, were you involved in panels at Blackpool last year, or was it just
that one? Yeah, that's the first time I've ever been part of a panel, and it was such a weird experience, but I loved it.
Was that last year?
Yeah.
Who was on the panel? I wasn't there.
It was myself, Al, Sifo. Fuck, now I'm drawing a blank. It was Game Muso, Top Out Gaming, man. Fuck, I'm gonna get fucking so much shit.
Pete Armour was on one of them. Pete on the retro tip.
Yeah, Pete was on it as well. Yeah.
There was Nova Bug on it as well.
Yes. There you go. Fuck.
I'll help you out. You out.
Thank fuck for that. Already got so much shit, but I forgot about that.
So talk us through it, because like, I'm someone who's never been a panel. I've never been to watch a panel either, because mainly most events I'm at, I'm either trading, so I'm stuck at my table, and or I'm pissed, so I never actually attend the talk. I'll be honest, it's hard to draw me away from that bar once I've had a few jars.
Yeah, the only panels I ever go to were the tuber ones, because most of the time you get, I hate to be this, but you get some boring, stuffy old man talking about some fucking 8-bit game he made 30 fucking years ago. Like, I don't give a flying fuck about this.
You're on about the Oliver twins again.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm fucking.
Surely you'd have liked
so
to listen
bored.
to John Romero talk about fucking making Doom, though. That would have been interesting. And he's a flashy fucker.
I'm gonna be blacklisted out of this fucking stream. But yeah, it's just like that shit doesn't appeal to me at all. Only the YouTuber ones or the streamer ones, the ones that I like watching. But that one was a weird experience, because the thing is with Steve, he's very good at putting you on a spot where you don't know what the fuck's happening, but for some reason it works out. And he said, "Oh yeah, you're going to be on a panel," and for weeks and weeks before, I was like, "All right, what are we going to be talking about? What are we going to be talking about? What's the subjects? What's this? What's that? Oh, I'll tell you on the day." I'm like, "He ain't thought anything fucking up, has he, the cunt?" And and then by on the day, because myself, everyone else is just like pissing out of our asses, nervous. It's like, just go out there and do your thing, and it worked. Be honest, I don't know if it would work a second time. I don't know if it'd be able to strike lightning twice in a bottle, well, catch like wide. I'm fucking waffling. Yeah, it was fun. I think it was fun anyway.
Would you do it again?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, but you probably won't do it at Blackpool this year because I think we're going to be pushing for it to be on.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see.
I've got a question. Well, not a question. I've seen something written in the comments that I want to bring highlight to, and I want to hear the story. Monkeyspaz ruined my first Blackpool experience. He got me hammered on the Friday night. Did you touch Lee? And can you tell us the story?
Have I to tell the story? Is Lee telling the story?
I can't remember if he did, but I'd like to hear your version anyway, because I know Lee's a bit of a lightweight.
Like, I'm the age I am, and I've got 2 kids and a job and a wife and all that malarkey. So I don't necessarily go out as often as I normally go out. So when I go out, I go out. So I can't remember. I can't remember where me and Lee were standing, but we were both pretty drunk. And like we're both standing, looking at each other, like, "Are you going out?" It's like, "Yeah, we have to go out." Is he going out? Yeah, going out. Come on, let's go out. And then that was just it. After that, it was just no memory and a hangover the next day, basically. But I still get the blame for it, but it's fine. It was the first time I met him, but it was like it's a good thing about people like us. Do you know what I mean? You never meet somebody before, speak to them before, and you meet somebody the first time, just like, I get on with you, let's go. And we just went, basically.
To be honest, there's not many people who I haven't met who I've clicked with who I haven't clicked with on some sort of level. James doesn't go to Blackpool anymore because we used to go out an all-nighter. Look, RetroUnlim Steve, you may have seen me at events, but I will throw it down there. No one outdrinks me and no one outlasts me. I'm the first one out, the last one in, and then I'm the first bastard up in the morning ready to go again.
Fuck that.
I will challenge anyone here. I've
been in some dodgy Blackpool places at 5 o'clock in the morning, still drinking.
Yeah, the fucking Roxy. I remember that one. That was one and only time we went out drinking, out. End up in the fucking Roxy, and it was one of your mates, wasn't it? He started falling in love with one of the fucking girls in the club.
Oh no, I know what you're on about. I remember there was one night we went out, and it was like we heard some music. We were standing about in the streets at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So we're like, there's music coming from there. So we're walking into this place, and there was a bar, but there was like nobody anywhere. And then we saw like a door at the other end of the room, and there was obviously a lot of music coming from down there. We went down these stairs, and it was just like mobbed. And we were like, oh, all right, let's go.
Stu, it's something in the comment. Best one was Jimbo's birthday announcement. Please keep these stories coming in the comments because I'm loving this. It's great to put guests on the spot. So tell us, James.
We were in some place, and there was a DJ playing music, right? The DJ was either a transvestite or the DJ had like a transvestite helper, if you like, something like that. And then all of a sudden, obviously, Stu went over and said something to this DJ or the hostess, if you like. And the next thing I knew, it was my birthday. And then the next thing I knew, there was Proclaimers music on. And we were all dancing around. I was like, what's going on? It's not my birthday. But
Stu has done much more embarrassing things to myself in Blackpool, in a bar called Shenanigans. But if you do watch the last Blackpool, I think it's Gus Newton that's got the footage of me and Stu dancing on the dance floor. Stu's swinging himself around like this. The next thing you know, there's a window that high. You just see fucking Stu hit his head off it, and he stood there like that.
Great key.
But Stu is definitely like, a pillar of the community, a fellow pisshead. And he's on his last legs, I think, because every fucking event he's a little bit more damaged than the last. So we certainly need to appreciate him for what he is. We'll talk a bit about gaming now. So starting with Monkeyspaz, tell us some of your favourite games growing up, and then some games that you appreciate maybe a little bit more now in adults, like a couple of each.
My first game that I played properly that wasn't like a Tiger handheld electronic thing like Double Dragon or something like, those little, or even Thundercats, I remember that sort of thing. The first thing I played like religiously was Yar's Revenge on the Atari 2600.
That was my pick, because there's a VR response going around. 10 games people have discovered while collecting, and that was my one of mine.
So Yars' Revenge, and literally, I got addicted to the thing, and I played it constantly. I had a little 14-inch portable TV, and I played it that much. If you know Yars' Revenge, it's got like a sort of a barrier, sort of shield section that you can go into, and you're
running
safe.
off back behind, like.
Aye, and literally, I played it that much that my CRT had like a burnt-in barrier on it, like repeatedly. I was like, great. So
that was Street Fighter 2. The
just the
yeah.
So Yars' Revenge is probably an absolute one that'll always stay with me. Even things like Dizzy on the Spectrum. Obviously, Dizzy was a big 8-bit mascot back in the day. Any Dizzy games as well. Final Fantasy VII, even going on a little bit further. Probably my first JRPG. I was amazed, like I was a little boy in awe when you could see how many discs you were like, oh, this must be amazing. It's on multiple discs. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't equate how good or bad the game is. But I'd probably say, I wouldn't say games that I appreciate more now, but I'd say the Mega Drive I appreciate more now than I did back then. Just in general, I was a I did have a Mega Drive, but I was more sort of Super Nintendo guy, and you know what I mean? Playground Wars, or your Mega Drive's rubbish, Super Nintendo's better, etc. The Mega Drive's got rubbish sound, the Super Nintendo's far better. But now I can quite happily sit and play a Mega Drive game and go, actually, this game's got decent music, which makes me then want to find other games, explore the library a bit more. But the Mega Drive, I appreciate the whole thing a little bit more than I did back then. And also Commodore 64 a little bit.
Controversial from a Specky fan. Question, I think it's a little bit of a piss take. Dainster, question for James. Any games that he hasn't sold?
That he's never sold?
Yeah.
I've never sold a Spectrum game. There you go.
And I'm assuming that's also to you. When's SNES Quest coming back?
Can we block him or something?
I can, but I can only permanently block him, but my admins can fucking time him out. I don't know. And finally, question for James. How many PS4s has James sold? Must be more than me. I am assuming you probably bought one off Gassed and then sold it on.
I've definitely sold stuff to Gassed. I don't know if I bought anything off him. See, that's the thing. Like, I've not done that for ages. I'm fixed. That's all I'm saying.
Is that why you've gone back into hiding? Because you were finally out of rehab now, are you? From selling
I was actually told I was not allowed to touch games or speak about games ever again. It was my fix.
Is this your one injection as required by Trump? Is it this?
Yeah.
So, same question to you then, Scott. You know, a couple of games that you used to love growing up and a couple that you appreciate more now.
Okay, well, the three I mentioned earlier, Resident Evil 2, Metal Gear, and of course, Final Fantasy VII. The game I first got obsessed with was Double Dragon on the Master System. Master System, you fucking northern cunt. Master System, whatever, I don't care. Master System, 8-bit, take 8-bit, there you go. The Mark III, where the fuck. I played that quite a bit, but the first game that I became obsessed with was the Immortal on the Mega Drive, because that game is fucking brutal. People bang on about, everything's a Souls-like now, everything's got to be like Dark Souls. No, that was the OG fucking Dark Souls style game where it was unfair. It didn't care if you were a great player, bad player, whatever. It just punished you for the littlest thing. And I got a bit tism about it and really learned the ins and outs of that fucking game. Another one was Sword of Vermilion on the Mega Drive. And that was like my first, I think, JRPG I ever played. And I played that non-stop. I never beat it, though. I'd play it for like 2 hours, turn it off, and come back to it, and they're probably the ones that I grew obsessed with pretty quickly. And Street Fighter 2. Like I said, I burnt my fucking tube telly with the health bars on the characters because I played that for hours on end.
That just makes me giggle because I play obviously FIFA with Gassed and that. And Lee, one of the players who plays he turns the map off and everything because he's convinced it will burn into his telly still.
Has he got an OLED or is he playing it on a CRT?
I don't fucking know. I don't know. Because I say to him, I'll say, why haven't you fucking passed me the ball there? I've made a great run. Can't you fucking see on the map? He's gone, I've got it turned off. He'll burn into my telly. Someone's saying, oh, this is Dylan. If you guys don't know Dylan's channel, Hyper Trigger X, excellent channel, new to the tubes. You might want to check him out. He's big into his Japanese gaming, especially Japanese 360 and stuff like that. He says, wasn't Ghouls and Ghosts the old OG Souls game? Now, Ghouls and Ghosts is notorious for being very brutal, especially on the home computers. Do you agree?
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad.
It was difficult, but I wouldn't say it was that bad. I played it a lot on the Mega Drive.
If someone wants to time out Raz as well, I can take him giving me shit, but lay off my guests. But this is the guy, right, who when he came on my stream, after I'd arranged him coming on my stream, the fucker fell asleep. I had to ring him to wake him up. And this is how he comes on my stream. He's like...
Every time I've met Raz, he's been asleep at least 70% of the time.
Hang on, didn't he fall asleep in one of the RetroUnlim live streams? I got a feeling he did.
Woodland did. Woodland
Woodland.
Sleep in live streams a lot, man. You just see him there talking and then he go like that. Razzy's like a fucking cat. He's either asleep or licking his own bollocks.
Nice.
So, Scott, your channel is mainly reviews, but there's not as many videos on there as I imagine. Have you removed some? Have you changed your channel around a bit? Yeah,
I deleted quite a few videos. I basically did a cull of like, because you know the thing, you put a video out, you look at it like 3, 4, 5 years later and think, what is this cringy shit doing on the internet? Delete it. So I had a bit of a cull, and I trimmed down the stuff that honestly isn't what I want to do anymore on YouTube, and try to make it a little bit more like on brand, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll get that. Because I've had a quick scan through. You've done a few Resident Evil 2 reviews, which is obviously a passion of yours. I've got a question for you both. It's from Pixel Plug. Nice chap. He's another new YouTuber. He's local to me. To the two guests, what are the best games you've ever played? So if James wants to go first, best game, why you think it's the best game, and we'll discuss.
I don't know if it is, but in my head it is at this moment in time. But considering as well that this console isn't my primary console out of the two, if that makes sense. But The Last of Us on the PS4 or PS3, if you like. I think I bought a PS3 just to play it, and I remember completing it, and I was like, nice, good game. It's one that always sticks in my head massively.
I'll just chuck this in there because people know I couldn't get on with that game. No. And I don't even probably think it's just that game. I think it's certain modern games in general. Now, I'm currently playing Stranded Deep. It's a new game that's out on the PS4. $15.99, good game. And that helps you, like, hold your hand, show you how to do the first bit. But, like, you can literally do that in 20 minutes. Whereas with Last of Us, I felt I played for, like, an hour and a half before it actually let me go on and play the game. And that was my frustration. I don't like games holding my hand anymore. I'd rather find myself. And I've probably held that unfair against The Last of Us because it frustrate me. I probably should go back and redo that. But any modern game like that where, you know, you're playing an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you're either having your hand held or you're watching more of the game than you're actually doing the game, pisses me off royally. That's just how I feel.
If we're talking old, maybe Secret of Mana. It's a game that I played a lot, put a lot of hours back into the day. It's probably my first JRPG other than Final Fantasy VII.
Nice. How about you then, Scott?
Well, I've already highlighted about 15 of the fuckers. Probably
pick a different one then. Pick.
I'll pick a different one. Probably the one that off the top of my head was God Hand on the PS2, which was pretty much the. It was the. Oh, how do I fucking say this? It was with words would help. Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
You can do charades if you want. Me and James.
Everyone goes on about like Resident Evil 4 being the most influential game of all time and all this stuff. God Hand is that as well when it comes to how it played gameplay wise and also its sense of humor, because there's very rare now where I have a game where it will be more than happy to take a piss out of itself. It's very self-aware and it's fun, and I like how they just don't give a shit. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have gay guys, but you can kick them in the nuts, but it won't affect them because they're gay and all that sort of shit. It's fucking ridiculous, and yeah, I love it.
I just need to ask, has someone timed out Raz because he's sending me messages on Facebook? I don't mind you timing him out because I could do with a 5-minute break from him. Just don't kick him permanently. So if you've kicked him, unkick him, but you can time him out by all means. He's saying his good friend. Oh God, he's fucking crying on Facebook. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Don't upset Raz.
Don't. If you've blocked him, unblock him, right? Because I can't do it from here. But if you want to time him out for 5 minutes, that's more than cool with me. I just want to. I'm going to come back to a question to Scott in a minute, but I've got a question for you both, guys. Who's in the chat? I really appreciate the questions, man, because it helps me learn a little bit more about what you guys want to know. So, question both: which is your preferred system, either retro or new? Well, rather than say either retro or new, let's say what's your favourite retro system and what's your favourite new system. So, James, if you want to go first.
Ooh, new. I've got a PC, so I play a lot on the PC. But if I had to pick a console, it would be Xbox over PlayStation 4. Sorry, I've got both anyway. I've got everything, so it's fine. Retro
for now.
It's probably not as easy as you'd think, or it's a very big toss-up between 3, to be honest with you. It'll be either Spectrum, Super Nintendo, or the Amiga. They're all pretty much like...
Guns to your head, you got to pick.
Oh.
TikTok, motherfucker.
Super Nintendo. I would say Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo.
Good choice, good choice. How about you then, Scott? Same question, fired at you.
Fuck me, it's like trying to it's like trying to work out which arm you want to cut off. Modern is easy, PC.
Always the one you don't write with.
Yeah. So modern be PC. If it's for an exclusive, it would be a PS4 because I don't own an Xbox One or anything like that in the mo. For fucking retro shit. The easy one would be PlayStation, but I actually really have a love for the Sega Saturn. I fucking love the Sega Saturn.
Scott Sega Saturn lad will send you that check in the post. He was on here giving everyone shit the other day because none of us had much love for the Saturn. It's not that I don't have much love for it. It's just, I had PlayStation. I appreciate the Saturn now, but it is just a dust collector, if I'm honest.
I had one, and then the PlayStation came along, and I was like, "Oh, okay, goodbye, Saturn." And then
I had one as well. That's why I didn't have one PlayStation until '97 because when the Saturn and the PS1 came out in the UK, I got a Sega Saturn, and I only had like 3 games for it. It was Tomb Raider, Resident Evil, of course, and what was the other? Whatever, Panzer Dragoon or whatever the fuck, I can't remember. And yeah, that's why I didn't get a PlayStation for that long. So I had a Saturn, and I fucking regretted it back then.
Nice. As I say, I just love the PlayStation. I fell in love with the PlayStation instantly, and I've stuck with PlayStation ever since. I've just got a quick announcement I want to do. Cine Steve is only 2 subs away from 1,000. So if there's anyone watching this stream who doesn't sub to Cine Steve, I want us to make that happen before the end of this stream. So please, he needs 2 subs to get 1,000. Massive achievement for Steve.
Needs one more.
He needs one more now. Even though he's a fucking Villa fan, I'm not that bothered about that. Get him over
3,
that.
2, 1, unsubscribe.
And then
it just goes down to 612.
Yeah.
I'll just sub to him now, then give it a minute, then unsub just to fuck with.
But I'm sure we can make that happen. Cine Steve, although he's a Villa fan, he's a nice guy. I do give him some bants, but he gives it back, and he's genuinely a nice guy. So if we can get him over 1,000 subs, that'd be a massive achievement. Thank you. And Al's put the link there. Not that me fucking highlighting it makes any difference because you fucking can't click on that. But if you want to type it in, I'll leave it there for a second. So I wanted to talk to you, Scott. You're a big Resident Evil fan, and the controversial thing at the moment is Resident Evil 3. Do you think they've had your pants down? Is my question.
Well, do I think that Resident Evil 3 remake is a good remake? Then no. I think it's a decent game, but honestly, it's probably. I bought it day one. I've played through it about 3 times, and I was thinking, oh yeah, I could do another entry in the series on YouTube. I really can't be asked with Resident Evil 3 remake. It's all right, but
I think they've massively.
It's very unpolished.
They've pushed it out because of how well Resi 2
Yeah.
did.
It's weird as well.
You can complete it in 3 hours, and they've charged you full price.
Yeah, I don't mind the length because when it comes to survival horror games, they're always short. It's just the replayability is the important part. So I'm not too bothered about the length. It's just the game itself is just very mediocre. It's nowhere near on the par. Well, all right, maybe this is me being biased because I love Resident Evil 2 so much. So the remake is decent, but it just feels like it came out a year. It was a year, but it didn't feel like a year between those 2 games. Yeah, it needed, I know, maybe another 6 months worth of work, or it just come at the wrong time. And maybe I'm burnt out with modern games. I don't know. It just, I didn't. It's all right.
They're doing 4 now, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Especially they re-released the fucking thing multiple times.
Yeah.
There's no need for a remake for 4, to be honest.
What I can't get my head around with 3 is you're having a game that was made in the late 90s on a modern system, and they've cut things out that were in that game back then.
But 3 was the black sheep of the family anyway. I love 3 when it came out on PS1. It was my second favorite Resident Evil game. But to play it now in the modern age, it was fun and it was a nostalgic thing, but I really don't care. It's just it brought nothing new to the table. Even with Resident Evil 2 remake, it had new stuff. It had the old, but it had a fresh spin on things. Well, 3 just feels like it's catching in on the wave of the success of the second remake. It just
I mean, what I will say is, out of the 3 on the PlayStation, I think 2's the best. I've gone back recently and tried to start playing Resident Evil 1, but it just looks horrible on my 24-inch B&O. It does look really, it looks terrible, and I just can't get into it. And I love the Resident Evil games growing up. I've never Resi 4 was probably the last one I played, and I think that was a good time for me to tag out of the I didn't play any of the Code Veronicas or anything like that. I literally
Code Veronica. If you're going to play the old school Resi games now, don't play them on a PlayStation.
No.
Best way to play them is on the GameCube. That's you get.
Yeah, I've got the GameCube set.
Definitely worth playing it.
I set up my PS1 to just play a few games that I wanted to touch on, like to play myself, Tomb Raider being one of them. And I put Resi in, and I was my memories had fucking changed from what I remember. My childlike eyes must have filled in a lot of fucking blanks back in the day. Plus, I probably didn't have in fact, this is probably bigger than a 24. It's probably a 27. I probably didn't have a 27-inch TV back then, so I've found scrunch it up a little bit better it looks to the eye. We've got a question from His Royal Highness Tutti UK himself. Please take a bow and a curtsy, whatever. Question to you both: digital or physical? I know my answer, and he probably knows mine, so no one needs to know.
Digital. I just don't have the room for physical anymore.
What about you?
Sorry, on you go.
What about you then, James?
With the exception of the Switch, everything else is digital. I don't see. I know people get caught up in buying or collecting even PS4 games, for example, but at the end of the day, all it is a disc that you put in your system to then download the latest version of it and the latest patches. It's nothing apart from a way to access the latest version. There's no point as far as I'm concerned. I know digital prices are, unless there's a sale on, unless it's on like a PC, like a PS4, Xbox, for example, digital prices, some games hold ridiculously high prices, which is daft, like way after they're released. You can always pick up secondhand games and sell them, etc. But for me, I can't be asked to go to the shop apart from anything else. I just, do you know what I mean? Pre-order it or whatever. Downloads it a couple of days before. Ta-da! That's it. I don't need to swap discs about or anything like that.
Go on, sorry, Scott.
I have so many fucking games on Steam anyway. I don't give a shit really. I buy them when I buy them cheap. I rarely, apart from Resident Evil 3, of course, I don't buy stuff new anymore. I buy it when it's on sale, when it's dirt fucking cheap.
Yeah.
Just because I got a shitload backlog to play, and secondly, I just don't buy that many games anymore. I don't need to.
I would say as well, if you're, I think you're as well, Scott. If you like play a lot of PC, it's all digital. It has been for a hell of a long time. Yeah. So somebody who's on PC and picks up a console, they're going to have no second thoughts about just going to the online store and just click, download the game.
My PS4, my disc drive is fucked anyway, so I have to buy it on digital if I like it or not. And to be honest,
that's the second part of Stu's question. But I just want, for me, whether digital or physical, all boils down.
Well, am I still here? I'm still here. It's my show. Is this still live? Right then, people, what do you want to talk about? I'm on somebody else's channel. I can do as much damage as I want. He can't come back. I've got 2 channels. What were we talking about? Rent and get right. We'll just continue until he might come back. He might not come back, I suppose. Sorry, I can hear myself talking because I've also got his YouTube channel up. Stu, renting games. You could also say you are renting games if you've got a disc. You're only buying the license to play the games. So if the company wants to take away your ability to play the game or discontinue servers or anything, they can do. That's what I'd say to that. Sorry, I'm going to scroll up the comments. Oh my God. I just come back to YouTube. I was going to actually do my own live stream. Now I've got somebody else's live stream. This is just awesome. And I live in the country that's got rubbish internet. Let me have a look. I'm just looking through the YouTube, the comments. Spectrum for the win. Spectrum always wins. When am I going to play some games with us? I take it this is the WhatsApp PS4 group or gaming group. Whenever, to be honest with you, I'm not working just now. So whenever. I wish I had full control of this stream. I just put some Spectrum games loading for hours. Let me have a look. Promote your Patreon. I don't have a Patreon, Steve. You know I don't have a Patreon. I've not got control of this. I can't even end this. This will just continue. I might just move the camera through later on. You can just all watch me sleeping. First time a Wi-Fi comes ahead. See, the thing is, I've got decent internet now. Hence, as you can see, I live in the middle of the country, but I've got internet that travels through the air. Is probably the easiest way. I don't rely on none of this high-tech, what do you call it, fiber optic cables. Mine's is like, magic, direct to my house. No, Dana, you're not allowed to come back, Dana. It's my stream. Amiga for the win. ASMR. This is just too funny. Dana's going to come back, I think. Dana's stream has been overtaken by filthy monkey spas.
Why the badge of internet? I was listening to you. If Scott can get back in, I'll add him. What I've done is I've made my phone a hotspot because I've got 30 gigs anyway that I've not been using. But that was Virgin interfering then, and it's weird that it's roughly the same time every couple of hours it's cutting people out.
Was it?
Yeah.
That was bizarre, mate. Honestly, all of a sudden I had my own stream that wasn't mine. I could have done anything.
Scott's back as well. Right, we're back.
That's annoying.
I said
it's getting hot in this room.
Doing it at the exact same time every couple of hours. That it kicked me out. So it's obviously something they're doing. I blame Branson, the cunt. The government don't bail him out. I was saying it depends on the price of the game. Like, we're playing FIFA 19. I could buy that game secondhand for £8. Yet if I wanted it digitally, it was going to cost me 30. So to me, it was a no-brainer. But also, if I pay £30-40 for a game, I want a physical copy. So that's
I get it. It's
just the way I am. I want something physical to hold.
It's a lot more fair on PC. I would say that if you're gonna buy stuff on PSN or the Xbox Store. Tell a lie, the Xbox Store is actually pretty good now with its subscription service, so you can play a lot of games for very cheap. On PC, it's a lot cheaper. On console, I can see your point of view because quite a lot of games are still like £60, and they've been out for like 5 years.
What I'd throw in there as well, when you're buying a modern PC, like a home build or even a laptop, you've not even got much choice because there's not disk drives in many of them anymore, is there?
Nah.
Not even needed.
Yeah, because your hand's tied there, in it. Really, you'd have to get an external USB, and you can't even really buy physical versions of some games anymore. I don't even think
on PC.
Rarely.
It's just a box with a code in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and to be honest, I can't remember the last time I bought a physical modern PC game. I've got a few big box ones, but they're not modern.
Stu's second part to that question was, does it feel like you're just renting the game, but for a period then?
Depend on the game, really. I would be pissed off if Steam closed down their servers tomorrow and 1,000 of games in my collection are gone. But I don't. It's ignorance, I guess. It's like I don't care.
What I think though is, like you said there, though, is us guys who collect consoles. Even though we've got the physical copies, they're going to be worth fuck all in years to come if they ever shut down them servers. Because as you say, they're just a disc that unlocks being able to load the latest version. So I don't know. I personally think fucking PS4, they're going to have to leave this. Like when PS5, say once PS5's into 2 years of its circle, they're going to need to keep the PS4 servers open for another 10 years, I think.
Well, the PS3 server is still going.
Yeah, they'll just keep them going.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to keep, but each time they're going to have to keep them servers open longer and longer. I think
it's just you're only buying the license, aren't you? You can sit there with your 20 PS4 games and saying, "Oh, I own all these," but you don't. You're buying a license which allows you to play the game, and that license can be revoked whenever.
And also if you play a lot of service games, online service only, like Destiny 2, Warframe, and all that, and World of Warcraft, some people play those games for years, and what will happen when those servers shut down? It's like all that time and effort is gone. But to be honest, I don't really get attached to it anymore. It's like the only online only game I play now quite heavily is Warframe. And I've pumped like thousands of hours into that game. And if it shut down tomorrow, it would be sad. But that's not the be all and end all anymore. I'd move on pretty quickly after that.
What I think though is there's always people who find a way around it. Like you could play your PS2 online now if you still wanted to. You have to hook up to the server via a laptop, then hook your PS2 up to a laptop, but it is still doable.
Still possible.
Obviously, it's only for certain games, like some more cult following games, like the one I've not done it for about 4 years, but I understand the server's still going. I played SOCOM 2, and
that was still going.
That was still going like a few years ago. And
that's still, wow. You can play that now using X-Link, which
I think that's what I use. I think that's what I use.
which is the LAN service that was originally for the original Xbox, so you didn't have to use Xbox Live. And then they ported it over to the PlayStation because you can PS2 because you can still play SOCOM, you can still play Final Fantasy 11 as well. It's on a private server, but you can still play it if you really want to. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. As I say, got to be about 3 or 4 years ago. I went on and done that, and I did enjoy it. Cinny Steve says, but even when the server shut down, you could still play offline features campaign. One, I question whether you could, because would you be even able to unlock the game loading? I'd question on PS4 you'd be able to. Plus, who the fuck plays campaign?
I used to.
I wish I had. But I think you wouldn't, because now when you put a game into a PS4, it automatically asks for that update before you can even get into the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you would.
They could say if they wanted to stop you playing, I don't know, FIFA 20. Do you know what I mean? Any game, they could just go, that's it. You put your disc in, it does nothing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So I don't know. It's going to be one of them testing times to see what comes ahead for sure. I want to talk about James's latest video. One, you made fucking opening that packaging really fucking difficult.
I was doing it one-handed. Go on.
I know, and like when I saw that, like you see the side. We'll talk about the item in here.
Yeah,
and you're still going at it to start with. I think with the knife, I think, what the fuck is he doing, man? Put that down. I can see it's very minced, and you're fucking slashing at it with Mick Dundee's knife.
A bad blunt kitchen knife that's probably 10 years old as well. Yeah,
bits of dinner still on it to put inside the cupboard.
Randomly slashing about, try to open it.
Because you say at the end of the video, you forgot what you've talked about. Because you've already got a variant of that Spectrum up there, and then you buy the James Bond version. Was the reason you bought that James Bond version because that's the one you had as a kid? Because I don't think you actually mentioned that, and I kind of got that idea.
I didn't actually have it as a kid. I think my Spectrum was bought second-hand, loose sort of thing. But one of my earliest sort of memories as a kid was going round to my my cousin's house one Christmas morning, probably very early 90s, and I think we used to do it at the case of before people opened the presents and whatnot. So I was like most kids then, if you saw a computer or anything like that, you were like, oh, do you know what I mean, obsessed, ridiculously excited. So he got that for his Christmas basically, set it up, so we played James Bond. I remember playing the light gun parts with it, for example. We played Cauldron as well, a game on it as well. So because of that, I've always wanted that boxed version of it. Just nostalgic more than anything else, and even more so as well. My cousin passed away 3-4 years ago, something like that as well. So it's another sort of good little memory just to keep hold of.
Yeah, you briefly mentioned that. It's a nice sentimental item. What cups that you've got there, James? I reckon I know. I've got the Game Boy One version of that.
Oh, yeah.
You know how I recognise? Because they all have that one line that really annoys me down the middle. I'm like, why didn't you fucking wrap it all the way around? So it was like,
I've got a Game Boy One, I think, as well, behind there somewhere.
Yeah, I've got. I think they did PlayStation one as well. Stu points out like about with like the games not loading. It would be exactly the same with iTunes. If they shut down, you'd lose all your digital music. But I suppose then, if you're the person who still kept the physical form, it wouldn't be so bad. So this. Although they're trying to get rid of like physical forms with like, especially with music and now with movies, there is probably always still going to be a place for some sort of physical format with that and physical way to play it, because otherwise certain songs could get lost if I choose I don't know, say there's a song that isn't very popular, they decide, you know what, we're taking that off iTunes. If no one ever has a physical copy of that song, it would be lost forever.
Lost. Yeah.
I mean, let's just say we as people have not learned that, because there's still VHSs that never made it to DVD. I know there's fewer and fewer, and there's some of them been loaded up digitally, but we do seem to somehow keep losing formats as we fucking progress, or certain parts of formats, because at the time they're unloved, but we all know the stuff that's unloved normally becomes a cult classic, really, in later
It
years.
will go, though. Physical will go soon. Like, even my kids who are 10, 13, like, if they ask me for a game, I'm going to buy them a game. No way would they think, right, I'm going to get them a physical game. Do you know what I mean? My son will want a game on his Xbox. He doesn't even want to put a disc in, for example. So, like, after us, this generation now, moving forward, it's not going to be physical games, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I think we are moving further and further away from that, but I think it will be a sad day though as well when everything.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Even
there'll be like vinyl. It's like 20 years from now, people are like, "Oh shit, I really want discs again. I really want cartridges again," and this fetishistic fucking cycle will go again. Personally, I don't give a shit. It's like, yes, I'm fully aware I'm paying money for something that's a license that could go away at any time. But to be honest, I'd rather have convenience now. I still love going down. Yeah, I still love going to CEX and browsing through the stores and all that. But I'm only buying games now for the endorphin rush rather than buying them to put on a shelf, look at, and maybe play. You know, I'll see a copy of a PS2 game I've been looking at for years. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll have that because I want it, rather than that's why I don't collect anymore, because that's how I devolved into collecting, and it got very unhealthy very quickly. So yeah, that's the only time I buy shit now.
We'll talk a bit about collecting, and obviously your two's collection in a second. First, Jim, why have you blocked your sticker with your shelves? That's a question from Steve.
My room's not big, honestly. Like, see, even people who haven't been in my house before, but they've seen me on here, for example, and they come into this room, it's a lot smaller than what it looks. So I've got very, very limited space. It's just where I put my shelves. That's the only reason.
That's a running theme. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen Jay Cybersnake 7's room.
Yeah, that looks small.
It is tiny, but in his video, he makes it look big with the angle. Like, this room here is tiny. Like, literally, if I push my chair back, I'm hitting the wall.
Yeah. Mine's is maybe 4 meters this way and 2 meters front to back.
Come on, man. Don't work in fucking meters to me, man. Feet and inches.
What do you do? Are you one of them?
Look, man, I'll tell you now, Royce. Do you guys remember when we was at school and they used to teach us in feet and inches? And then all of a sudden decide to fucking change it to meters? Blew my fucking mind, right? Blew my mind. My old man, who I work with in a trade, still uses feet and inches, and I can only visualize feet and inches. Someone says a meter to me, my mind is fucking blown.
I used to work with a trade a lot, like joiners, builders, stuff like that. They'd come in and say, "Can I have a bit of blah blah feet by?" I'm like, stand there, come on, man, go and just do it in millimeters or meters, please.
We don't, man. And you know what it is? It'll carry on because, like, as I say, my old man, he's still feet and inches, and because I have to work with him, I work in feet and inches.
Yeah.
And no doubt, whoever fucking comes to work with me will have to work with feet and inches.
No, I don't. Meters, millimeters.
But what I was saying, like, I thought of something about like the physical games and stuff like that once. Like, if everything goes digital in the future, that to me will be the final nail in the high street of probably media shops. A lot of them massively, because there won't be no need. You can just get it online. You don't even need an online store for 90% of it then, because you can buy it through the device.
But you can say that now. It's been going online only for a long time for quite a lot of media, and there's still shops in the high street. I don't know what they'll be like after we get out this fucking lockdown, but
broken into in Dudley probably.
Yeah, I really don't get that mentality anymore, because I've seen it, I've heard it and seen it said so many times now, like, well, when is this day gonna come? I don't think it's gonna come now. It's like, yeah, old media will die one day, but not in a way I think people will envision it.
Stu said tonight is a prime example. No internet equals no film, Netflix, Amazon Prime, etc. So
yeah, good point.
My internet used to be very flaky. It's not long until it's been resolved and it's fixed and it's fine. But it's an absolute nightmare, like Stu said. Just sitting there, oh, look, do you want to watch a film, kids? Do you want to watch a film? Yeah, literally, you're about to hit the button on the remote control and the internet goes off. And that's it. No Netflix, no anything.
Well, same here. Like, my net's normally solid as a rock, but not fucking today.
Yeah.
That is purely down to Virgin, but it is like, you know how we all panic when we lose electricity?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Losing internet for the next generation is going to be that losing. Like, how many times a year? Maybe twice a year. If it's bad, you lose power. Imagine if you lost internet like a few times a year, man. The whole world wouldn't cope, would it?
No, it's like, well, I'm a bit like, see if my internet goes off, I'm instantly like, oh,
yeah,
I am. Just something just snaps in my head.
Yeah.
So we're into the final 25 minutes. I want to touch on because obviously Scott's talked about collecting, how like it became unhealthy and stuff like that. So maybe we can just tell our stories of collecting for the last 20 minutes. So James, if you want to go first, your collecting journey rather than, you know, anything else. Sorry, I was about to burp then. I
just want to speak until you're still going.
Yeah, you was waiting for me to finish, and I was hoping I wasn't going to let out the most wretched burp. Nothing's professional here, nothing at all.
See, I started probably a bit like anybody who sort of starts buying everything and anything that I could get my hands on, literally going bonkers. A bit like some other people out there, SNES-tastic. Do you know what I mean?
I think we're all guilty of that, mate.
Anybody, I've had conversations with all those sort of people that do the same sort of thing, whether I could afford it or not, bought it.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? I never put myself and my family in a iffy situation or anything like that, but just bought it. And it, like Scott said as well, it can easily get to the point where it gets unhealthy. And I used to even see people making YouTube content. You could tell they just bought something just to go, look what I've bought.
Yeah, you see it all the time. It used to really fucking depress the shit out of me.
So I've collected Super Nintendo games multiple times, for example. I probably still will. But I've cut things back massively. There was a point in time where one and a half of those shelves were just PS2 games. Did I ever play a PS2 back in the day? No. Did I ever play any of the games? No. Why did I buy them? Cause did I like PS2?
Yeah.
No. Like, do you know what I mean? It makes no sense whatsoever. I just sat there one day and went, I need to get rid of those games, and I just sold them all to one guy and saw sense. So nowadays, like somebody else that we know, it's always good to have a focus. So to keep you on track to a certain degree, to stop you going mental and just because it's easy to sit there late at night on eBay or something like that and just go, oh, want that, and go absolutely bonkers. So certainly for me nowadays, it is a bit more focused in the sense where I will only pick up Spectrum games, probably PS1 games. I've still got a bit of love for, but I've tamed myself back massively. But like it can easily get out of control. Do you know what I mean? Easily get out of control. Using a credit card to buy an expensive game. Do you know what I mean? Stuff that idiotic that you shouldn't be doing. But I suppose you need to maybe do it and learn the lesson and not do it again and again and again and again and again like some other people still do.
What I'll chuck in there is I think we all have a part of our collection, which I don't want to call it my shame, but it's my like, why the fuck have I got that?
Yeah, I used to have lots of that. Why the fuck?
Yeah, me too.
I'm looking at it now. I'm looking at my PS2. There's probably a handful of games I should probably keep, and the rest I should fuck off.
Yeah,
but they're worth fuck all. So it's always like I might as well keep them because they're worth fuck all. My Xbox OG, I've got no love for that system whatsoever, and everyone gives me shit in the comments. I just don't. I use it purely for emulation. I've got coin ops in it, so I play the arcades and stuff like that. That's all I use for. But yeah, I've got a handful of games that some have been gifted, some I've picked up next to nothing, and again, they're worth fuck all. But I'm thinking I could put something I want on that shelf. But the thing is with me is I'm not just a collector now because I sell at the events. I have stock as well. And the worst thing that happened to me is everyone's heard the story before. When I had my house rewired, I've got into buying and selling toys as well, purely because an opportunity came into my hands that I couldn't turn down these toys because there was so much return on them. So I bought them while the house was empty. So I put them in the house. And then when all my stuff came back from storage, I won't lie, man, I didn't do a YouTube video for a good 3-4 months, even after my house was rewired and redecorated, because the stuff was living in my living room. And every morning I was waking up and it was depressing me. Looking at the stuff, it weren't even out on display, it was in boxes, and all I kept thinking is I've got to go to work, I've got to come back and I've got to sort some of this. and that went on for like 3-4 months, and I was proper in a depressed, fucking miserable state. And then one day I just said to Dad, I said, you know what we'll do? Because what I couldn't do is just fucking get rid of it, because I needed to sell it, because it was some stock, some of my collection. So I went out and I spent the money on a shed, and now it all lives in the shed. And because I don't have to look at it, I feel much better
You're
about
not
it.
sat in it all the time. Yeah. It's separate.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not shitting you. I had these tote boxes that I take to the events. They're probably fucking, I think they're 100 litres or something like that. So I've got them, but there must have been 15 of them stacked up in the... And my missus never fucking killed me. I don't know. I used to come home every day, and it never bothered her. She never said a word about it. But me, it was fucking getting me down. And that was purposely like, I thought, I don't want to do a video because 1, the games room set up, and 2, I was just that fucking miserable. But the day I got that shed, I worked all weekend building some shelves, put it in. And once all that stock went in there, I just thought, you know what, that's so fucking great. I haven't got to look at that every day. And now it's much better for me for doing events, because I just fucking put them on the trolley, roll them down my entry side of my house, straight to the car, and I'm sorted. But, you know, I understand how, like, collecting and being part of the hobby can fucking get on top of people. And there's some people who, like, I like to think I don't buy for the sake of it. I purchase stuff because I can either A, make money like yourself, James, when you sell stuff, or B, it's something I want for my collection. But the trouble is when you are doing events, you can't turn down the good deals, because, you know, you're not guaranteed to sell every item you take to events. So you need a vary of stock to encourage people to buy, sort of thing. But yeah, I totally understand with, like, and there's a lot of us in the hobby who, I think at some point, I think if someone says at some point the hobby's never got on top of them, I think they're not being true to themselves, because there's always some point that we've all bought something that we regret or we need to move on. It's my honest opinion.
Yeah, agreed.
So Scott, your story of your collection, mate.
I think I started collecting in about 2012. And I just bought some stuff from a pawn shop, and that's where I started to spiral from there. It's around the same time when RetroUnlim started, I think it was then, whatever.
Explain, man.
And I just started buying stuff, just bought stuff. I was like, oh yeah, I'll grab some of this, grab some of that. There wasn't really a focus. And mostly it was down to, I just split with a girlfriend. I moved into a fucking little shitty 1-bedroom flat. I was just, you know, on a bit of a downer, really, and I just started trying to fill the hole. But the thing is, filling that hole with material things doesn't work out. It just makes it worse. And I just kept buying stuff, and then the breaking point for me was when I bought Radiant Steel Gun on the Sega Saturn. I spent 250 quid on that fucking game. And that money was supposed to be going towards the rent, and I couldn't make the rent that month. And I got into luckily I didn't lose the place, but I got into a lot of shit for it. So that was when I was like, you know what, I need to refocus. I need to stop this. And I sold it all off, and that's it, really. I don't really collect. I still have consoles and stuff, but it's not piled up in my place anymore. It's I only have what I want to have. I don't buy anything extra. I do buy stuff at conventions and stuff, but it's not on any sort of levels. Any stuff that catches my eye. So, for instance, if I see like art books or strategy guides for games that I like, I will buy them. Or I do have one collecting kink of trying to pick up every copy of Resident Evil 2, or all the different versions of PS2 and Dreamcast and so on. And that's it, really. I don't collect anymore. I refuse to get into it again because I don't want to go into that sort of weird mind space again.
At least you noticed, though, or you recognize. Do you know what I mean? Sorted it out.
Yeah, and
I was just going to say, it takes a lot of strength to control yourself, because there's some people, like, they'll just carry on spiraling out. And the good thing is you kept to, because how many times you see people who stop themselves, think they've controlled themselves, and then go again. That is.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think I'm quite an obsessive, sort of compulsive person. And I don't know if that's like a trait that's amongst a lot of collectors. Do you know what I mean? So it's easy for it to just go, but it's just keeping control of it.
I do think it's like, somewhere between like compulsive and like oh man, an easily not influence, an addictive personality.
Yeah.
I've got a friend, I won't mention his name. He used to be addicted to gambling, and when he conquered that, he then became addicted to drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now, I mean, I don't want to say it's a good thing. He doesn't drink, he doesn't gamble, but now he works. He's addicted to working.
Yeah.
It's almost like he can't have 10 minutes. I'd hate to be him. He can't have 10 minutes to sit in his own house to be to himself. He's got to be doing something, if you know what I mean. I mean, I imagine at the moment, fucking lockdown is driving him insane. Either that or he's got the best fucking garden I've ever seen.
You
know what I mean?
Addicted to gardening for a month.
Yeah. But we talked about it on the stream a few guests back. I've always collected stuff when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I used to collect stickers. I used to collect trading cards. When I had video games, I wanted to collect video games. Do you remember, like, when you were kids, like, there was stuff like buy issue 1 for $1.99?
Yeah.
I was that kid who didn't just buy
I had that.
first edition.
I always wanted to.
I had 2 magazine kinks back then. One was the Essential Trail, or whatever the fuck it was called. It was like a D&D game.
Trail? Yes,
yeah, that's it. Yeah. I had hundreds of issues. And also there was a true crime one. It was in a red binder book. Yeah. I used to collect those all the time. I loved them.
But I think I get that from my mom, because my mom likes collecting ornaments. She likes collecting thimbles. I think that like almost hoarding and wanting to have purchases and a collection is from there. Like you just said, I had the ancestral trails. I had the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I fucking love them.
Where you built the fucking glow-in-the-dark dinosaur. Yeah. I had that. I had David the Gnome books. I had the full set of fucking that. How Your Body Works. I had the full... But my mom used to encourage that as well, because she'd like say, do you want this? And I'd be like, yeah, okay. And then I wasn't really that into it. But because she got that far, she wouldn't let me give it up. It was almost as much her collection, even though she didn't have no interest or fucking read it. She like encouraged it because I think she wanted to see it through as well. I wish she'd fucking buy me the Ecto 1 fucking building kit. I'd be right up for that.
The fact that they're all like first magazine $1.99. Thereafter, $7.99 for 145 issues. Yeah, it's like to build a Titanic, or do you know what I mean? Something.
Yeah, but you know that used to be like. I mean, my mom used to like, you know, it was used kids like most of your mates used to start a sticker book and leave it like 30 empty. I didn't, man. I had that book completed. My mom would fucking, you remember in the papers, like people would list the swaps numbers they got and shit like that. My mom would do that for me. She'd fucking, when it got to the final amount, she'd order off like Merlin or whatever. So when she comes around my house and she moans about all the shit I've got, I'm going to go to her, go, you fucking bought me up exactly like this. As much as me and my mom, bless her, she's been ill for ages, but we argue like fuck. And it's probably because we're a lot more like each other than we'd like to fucking admit. But I want to say hats off to Scott, man, that you've kept on top of that, because there's a lot of people who would crumble in other circumstances. Yeah. Like, and that's detriment to you as a strong person for doing that, man. So massive respect for that.
It's the fact that you see others doing it, and then they do it, and they do it. I'm not going to mention names, and then they do it, and you're like, come on, man, get it.
And you see it all the time.
Like,
it's like, stop it. It was like, you look like a dick because you keep flip-flopping between collecting and not collecting. And then you're just decimating your bank balance, your mindset, everything. It's like, stop it. If you want to do it and you got passion for it, great. If you're doing it for attention or to make fucking endless, boring ass pickup videos, fine. Well, you're not doing any... yeah, you may have temporary clout, but what's it all for in the end? It's like, is it just going to sit in a corner all day not being looked at or whatever? Because that's what happened to me. I'd buy stuff and I wouldn't even open it out of the fucking box, or I would get like eBay packages and they'll still be in a jiffy bag. I never opened them, you know. Then I knew I had a fucking problem.
Yeah, I mean, Stu makes a good point. Collect within your means, and I've always been brought up like that. Like, you know, I would never lend money to buy a game. I've never lent money anyway if I can help it, because that's how my parents brought me up. And I'm quite always on top of my money. So, like, you know, my collection, you know, it's 90% funded by the play money that I earn by buying and selling. But like you say, like some people just can't do that, and that is the problem. And that's when collecting should be fun, like doing what Stu does. Going for full sets. I commend anyone doing like that who's got a focus of what they're going for. That's brilliant. But there is also the dark side of when people, as you say, man, some people buy stuff just to fit in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's never about. What I will say is I never judge any gamer, any YouTuber, any collector by the size of their collection. I always judge them by the fucking person they are, and that's
totally
the way it should be.
It's just if it gets to the point where it affects your ability to, Scott, like you were saying, pay your rent or put food on your table or something, then it's like too far.
Oh, X-File, that's right. It was real life crimes. Yeah. At least someone remembers. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, it's just don't. If it's unhealthy, don't do it. Really, just it will just make it miserable.
Okay, someone has surpassed me on the nerdiest. See, I admitted the other when I think I can't remember who was my guest. I admitted I used to collect stamps as a kid. Again, something my mom got me into. But Gernaldinho plays, congratulations. You have surpassed me by saying you used to collect BT phone cards. Well done. You have surpassed me there. Remember the phone cards? They used to have different pictures on, I think. Back in the day.
What are they, did you put money on them and then put them in a fraud?
Yeah.
Vaguely, yeah.
I mean, that was when you could find a phone box that wasn't smashed up or full of
stinking of piss.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was. To be fair, most of them now, any ones that I've seen left, they have started putting defibrillators in them.
Yeah.
Which is a bloody good thing, which we could do with more of. But yeah, I remember those fucking them phone cards, man, putting in the thing.
Oh, vaguely.
Yeah. One last question to you both before we do our sign-offs. We'll go to James first. Future of the channel. Are you going to start doing more content? Are you back? And what's the future for your channel? It would be the same question next. So give us some spoilers, Jimbo, either good or bad.
That's a question, eh? If I'm openly committing to something here.
No. Just, obviously, while lockdown, you got time.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know you've been looking in at these streams. You've spoke to people in that, and you can see the community. Like your name's been mentioned on here so many times with other people. I think we'd like to see you back, basically.
I think I've massively enjoyed this, and even like doing the video the other day and interacting with people and stuff. I've enjoyed that. So I would say the plan moving forward is definitely to make more content. I've always wanted to do a live stream element to the channel, but up until recently didn't have the ability to do that. So that'll be something that I'll be looking to do just so you can get a bit of instant community interaction is the word that I'm looking for, rather than replying to comments.
Over here is brilliant, man.
Yeah.
Once you can manage stuff like that, it's a real buzz doing live stream.
So definitely. I don't know what capacity, but yeah, I will be looking to make a lot more content and expanding it with live streams and stuff like that as well. Definitely.
So that's brilliant, mate. And I know people watching will massively enjoy that as well. So Scott, future for your channel? Any focuses or any videos in the pipeline?
Well, I'm currently working on a review of Final Fantasy 13 on my sort of loose series of reviewing JRPGs because they seem to do really, really well for some reason. So I'm working on that. I try to get a video out like once a month, once every 2 months. But now I focus on quality over quantity because before I would upload like a review a week and it would be fun, but it just wasn't fulfilling. So now I try and make it a bigger project. Yeah, so that's what I'm currently doing. I don't know when it's fucking going to come out because right now I'm like 30 pages of script in and it's like going to be at least an hour and a half, 2 hour long video. So we'll see.
I think you might need to break that up into parts.
Fuck that. All one go.
Get them view numbers up with everyone having to watch it in 4 sittings.
Yeah, mate.
Brilliant. So what I like to do, because we're coming towards the end of the stream, is I like you guys to send a message to everyone that's been watching. Say whatever you want. You can call them all bastards if you want. I'm not bothered. They'll all still come back tomorrow anyway. So
I'll let you go first, Scott. Go.
Okay. Scott, you can go first for the first time tonight.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of something. Okay. Watch my channel, you cunts.
Top that, James. I wasn't expecting that. That was completely left field then.
Watch my channel. It's better than Scott's. And don't be silly with spending money.
Fair play. What I want to say, guys, is thank you both for coming on. I mean, you've completely come into the dark on my channel. You've not had a lot of interaction with me. I want to say you've been brilliant, really engaging, really interesting. Everyone on the stream has enjoyed it, and I just want to say a thank you to you both. And I hope you want to join in with the comments in future streams if you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
I do them every night except for Wednesdays and Sunday. So there's always new people in here, new channels to find. And again, just thank you both. So thank you from me.
Thank you very much.
No worries. I'm glad the internet's held up. I'm just going to drop you both backstage while I just do my outro. So thank you very much, guys. So thank you, everyone. Virgin only fucked us up the ass once, and we got through that anyway in the end. I thank you all for coming in and watching, and obviously some of you probably lost collections yourselves. I want to say massive thanks to Gashead Steve for making this happen. He knows James and Scott. He reached out to them for me because I wanted to get them on the channel. But I don't have contacts with everyone in the YouTube world, believe it or not. But they've done a brilliant job, and I've enjoyed it. And the one good thing I like to think is I'm getting to know new people as well as you guys watching. So we've got tomorrow's stream already sorted, guests lined up. We'll be back tomorrow unless Virgin and Branson fuck me up. I don't know if anyone's doing a stream, so we can't invade anyone. But Addy Sneaker Freak might be doing an after party. So if you want to get involved, drop to Addy a message on his WhatsApp or on fucking Instagram. Take it easy, YouTube. Good night.